Hello class, welcome back. As you know, my name is Miss Hayden and this is our 11th grade American history class. Today we'll be discussing triangle trade, and this is trade basically between three regions of the world, America, Africa, and Europe during the 17th century. As you might know, we previously discussed European globalization and colonization in other parts of the world, and this was the next step. So, as I said, we will be focusing on this part of the world, America, Europe, Africa, and the relationship they held in the Atlantic Ocean. So first we will talk about the American colonies, which belonged to Europe, and the western coast of Africa. Together, when you put them in one kind of collective group, they form a triangle, and this is why we call it triangular trade. America would give goods to Europe, Europe would trade with Africa, and Africa would give goods to America. And in return, they would all help each other out too, and form a cycle that really relied on each other. First, why don't we talk about America? America was the 13 colonies that belonged to England at the time, and they were pretty important in Europe and Africa's economy. Their exports were raw materials such as cotton, lumber, and tobacco, crops and goods that could not be found in any other part of the world and were recently discovered with European expansion. Their imports were enslaved Africans through the African slave trade and the manufactured goods that Europe would produce through their raw materials. Next, let's talk about Europe. Europe was kind of more advanced compared to the rest of the world at this time. Their exports were manufactured goods such as textiles and furniture. Like I said, they would use the goods from America and produce them with their machinery they have come up with in the Industrial Revolution. The imports were raw materials, obviously, like I said, and lots of money. And there were some slaves that came from Africa, but enslaved Africans did usually go to the Americas. Lastly, let's talk about Africa. This is the western region of Africa, also known as the Côte d'Ivoire to some people, because of the abundance of ivory there with the elephant population. Now, Africa was very important in this triangular trade route because of their human resource. The slave trade did occur during this time and was a brutal period of history and completely inhumane by any means. Captured slaves were their major export, and some raw materials, but slaves were their main export. Imports included manufactured goods from England and raw materials from the Americas, but their main role in this whole triangular relationship was for slaves. Some things you might want to think about in the future. How did this affect American colonies' desire for independence? And can we see any resemblance of triangle trade theory in economics today? What are your thoughts on it? Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in class soon.